Shalom, welcome to Out of Africa Torah session. My name is Tatra Cohen, and this week we are on Parashat Ekev, which is because in English. It is coming from the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 all the way to chapter 11:25. We see Moses in this Torah portion continues his farewell speech, the famous speech, as we have seen from the previous Torah portion. He continues on this current one, telling the children of Israel, warning them, giving them signs, warning, and also helping them, encouraging them by all means necessary. And in this particular one, he tells them a number of very important things. Number one, he tells them to, when they enter the land, to completely obliterate, to completely or utterly remove or destroy every person which is not a believer, you would say in today's context, or anyone who has nothing to do with God. You know very well about the Canaanites who lived in the land before the children of Israel came in. In other words, having nothing to do with them, like with anything that has nothing to do with God, like have nothing to do absolutely with anything that has nothing to do with the God of Israel. And we also see Moses reminding them not to forget God's word, God's commandments, even after they enter the promised land. You know, most of us have a tendency, like, I've been praying for a job, I've been praying for my health, I've been praying for ABCD. When those things happen, there is usually a temptation to forget about God because your problems have just ended, so there's no need of God anymore. And that's exactly the very thing that Moses was trying to warn the children of Israel not to fall into that trap. They should always remember God even after they have acquired that which they wanted. And finally, he gave them the biggest task, that is to continue fearing God. They should always fear God no matter what, whether they are in the land they have entered, they are yet to enter, they should always fear God. And these are the words. Imagine you have a leader who tells you to always fear God. I see this as a beautiful thing, and that's exactly what Moses did. Now let's look at something. If you look at the word Ekev, which is actually the name of this Torah portion, or the word which is used to open this Torah portion, which is translated today as if, it is also translated as an after effect, like as a result of, like something that should lead to something. Yet its literal translation is actually heal. Most of women can easily relate with the word heal because they put on heels almost every time. If it's my wife, it's worse. She has got so many heels. She likes heels, I think. Heels are good. But we find a very interesting thing from the word heal and in what it means. For example, we are told that this word has got the same root meaning as the word Yaakov or Jacob, who got his name because of holding onto the heel of his brother. You all know the story of Jacob and Esau from the book of Parashat. I'm sure most of you may remember this. It is a very famous story. But what Jacob actually did to come out standing on the heel, like grabbing the heel of his brother, like he was standing firm on his brother, like he was coming strong on his brother. That's exactly what the word means, Ekev. Now, with that being said, it gives you context of Ekev has the same root with heel. So I might as well read for us verse 12 of chapter 7 Deuteronomy in that context, in these words, which says now, number 1, and it will come to pass on the heel of your hearken to these rules. Okay, it is almost there, but not quite sure. Allow me to read the second time now, bringing what we said into context, the same verse 12. And it will come to pass as you take a stand to these rules. Now you may ask, what was Moses trying to say? Ekev, because of what? The answer lies in the in the meaning of this word Ekev, which has the same root like I've said now. Moses meant that they were to take a stand, a firm stand, to guard over the ways of Adonai, to do their part of the covenant, as well as to keep the memory of the ways of the Lord. As it is stated in 1 Corinthians chapter 16 from verse 13. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong, and be on your feet. Stand the ground. Faith is not for the faint. And that's exactly what Moses was saying. And lastly, always remember where you are coming from. Moses said to be careful not to forget the ways of Adonai. And this was the full package lesson which Moses was giving to the children of Israel, for them to follow, for them to remember, for them to bring into their consideration as they enter into the final step of their destination, of their journey into the promised land. So in short, what am I saying? No matter what you are going through, take a stand, be on your feet, and be bold, be firm, be on your heel. But also remember His rulings. Remember where you are coming from. And when you do these things, you are going to be successful, to be prosperous in the land of Canaan. These are the words which Moses gave.